Mally ended Season 1 at 67th.
Oh no.
So do with that info hazard as you will.
Alright,
Alright,
PCO
C-spin
stack
for Dormy.
versus MS2 here.
Okay, Mally's just trying to hit the Jets immediately, which I think is not the same strategy they used in the warm-up, so looks like they're trying to immediately catch Dormy off guard, but the opener nullified that immediately.
Malashevsky now the one building back-to-back as Doremy did break this here. Doremy down at the bottom with some cheese that he's going to have to get through, and that minus 11 appears on that board. Doremy trying to stay low to tank what's coming in right now, but that is only growing in that hole in the board. Yeah, yikes.
Mally's not even going to need the Surge Fake, but they're going to go ahead and do it for the fanfare. Those well transfers that Mally was doing was absolutely elite, and yeah, just no threat to keep that pressure on.
More PCO stack versus MS2. Doremy going for the all clear here. Malashevsky going for the all spins. Both players with that back-to-back right now. But Malashevsky with the back-to-back league. Doremy breaks.
And has the immediate counter spike. There's a significant speed advantage for Mally as expected, but even with the expectation set, this is kind of an insane degree.
Oh, for sure. Definitely a strong start from Malashevsky, who's just 5-4 upstacking at the start of all of these rounds. That 31 spike, that garbage was just so well placed.
Mally, you know how you did a completely normal opener? Why do you have a 31 spike 8 seconds in? Why do you just have that?
Yeah, I don't know, man, but it works out.
Indeed it does, but it's probably the closest to lethal that Doremy has found themselves in for Mally, but the down stack is there, and Doremy has a lot of cheese to go through.
Yeah, Doremy cleaning up his board state right now. It really wasn't looking great for a sec, but Malashevsky just continuing to build that back-to-back. There's the break with the 26 spike. Doremy able to handle that, but now pushed up to the top, and Malashevsky finds the pressure for the 4th point.
That was really good efficiency from Mally there, sending a 15 spike, meanwhile they still have 18 rows of material to keep cascading down, and that follow-up is just unwinnable for Doremy. Returning to the comfort opener of the C-spin, sending out 23, and Mally actually does not have the best garbage pattern, but that 24 spike is going to give them more than enough time to figure out their board state.
Doremy up at the top here.
They find the well. I think it was about 3 times there where they were a single garbage line away from dying. They are able to make the 4 surge threshold. It's going to supplement their pre-pressure. Mally gets that required TSD for the survival. And Doremy's just going to continue converting this advantage, and after 40 seconds of the fight of their life, they have finally taken a round and are on the board.
Yeah, I feel like the difference maker in that round there was Doremy being able to cheese Malashevsky's board. I mean, just the way that he's able to cancel all of the incoming garbage makes it so difficult to actually get any sort of messy garbage on the board. That's going to force him to break, but Doremy not able to get into that well.
Yeah, T-Sin misdrops over the well, 9-0 scenario, nothing you can do there. And Mally's just going to keep taking these quick wins. Doremy unfortunately not able to get some comeback momentum.
Ooh, the misdrop from Doremy here early.
And Mally's struggling on the overhang list, but they find an alternate solve that actually ends up just being better than what they were going for. They have the surge advantage still, trying to hold it despite Doremy having no counters available.
Oh, that was just a mess on Doremy's board right there from start to finish. There wasn't really anything he could do there. The moment he misdropped and tried to keep it in back-to-back, it was just not going to go well for him.
Doremy still has quite a few rounds of leeway, but definitely not a position you want to be in. But they are going to avoid the Brazil.
That was just Mally not knowing how to hit a Z-spin. It was just a normal Z-spin. Double.
Mally had their promo moment. Unfortunate. Quite literally.
Oh no, Doremy messes up the well.
They have the immediate survival, looking for the follow-up survival, but that hole in their board from earlier did come back to bite them. With options exhausted, Mally is going to take that Tetra League sub, looking for the tournament sub.
Yeah, that this is winners finals here. Neither of these players have lost yet, meaning that the loser of this has another chance for that loser's bracket run, so...
Oh no. I think Mally still had an out, but unfortunately not able to see it in time. DOREMY has been really good on finding these punishes, but being in a position to where there is a punish available has been the struggle.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of these rounds are not necessarily coming from one player's successes, but rather the other's failures right now, which I'm sure is not what these players want right now.
Very
But
well
that's
said.
another point for DOREMY.
You wanna see a dead body?
Did we finally see some glimmers of hope from DOREMY, starting to build a little bit of this momentum, going back to the comfort opener of the C-spin, able to find that PC, building up the DPC. They are staring down a large surge and quite a lot of sustain.
Oh,
But that counter is insane! 244
Mom missed the
APM from DOREMY.
yeah, they missed the eye placement up at the top and had a little bit of an out, but I think DOREMY would have been able to find the follow-up pressure to end that regardless.
Mally gonna put themselves in an extremely dependent scenario, but luckily the speed will prevail, and there is no punish available. DOREMY finds the force surge threshold, has a counter force. They have options if they want to try and hold on to it. Mally's trying their best to force DOREMY into decisions they'd rather not make. DOREMY is going to find just about every correct down stack, all spins included, the back-to-back maintained, sending over that 40. But the sustain was matched by Mally.
Yeah, that combo to stay alive there from Malashevsky was just so good. Very well played. Probably some screen watching going on of understanding DOREMY's board state. And speaking of screen watching, doesn't even need to break that surge there, even though, yeah, a surge break there would have absolutely ended the round, but Malashevsky finds the win regardless. I did notice something interesting at the start of that last round is, I don't know if Malashevsky purposely denied PC, but they did send one line of garbage to DOREMY while he was doing MS2, so the PC was declined right there. Wonder if that was, like, strategic.
It looked like they had a huge hesitation afterwards, so I'm not sure if that was just a misdrop, but it did end up proving to their benefit. Ooh, DOREMY has no choice but to go for this STSD. The T is able to spawn. They have the clutch clear, trying to find the down stack, but unfortunately that next row is not filled in for the skim. Mally has acquired that clockwork lead.
That took me a second. That took me a second to see the 9 to 5.
Ooh, immediate 25 from DOREMY. They have the well open into this nice 2-7. And Mally's actually in quite the predicament. They have this O-piece over the well, able to find the first, looking for the second. Finally making it to the clear as DOREMY runs out of material. They even find the color clear just for swag. But they have that column 7 garbage, and that's the last position you want to be in.
DOREMY might have to break here. Is going to continue breeding right now. There comes the break with the 20.
Ooh, unfortunately,
32
no multiplier.
spike.
The difference between that eyepiece being next and one piece away is the difference between taking and not taking the round there.
Yeah, both players staying alive for now. Malashevsky had a little bit of garbage from that break that they were able to get through, but that allowed DOREMY to get that back-to-back lead as we see right now. There goes the -9 on Malashevsky's board. Both players break here.
Oh, that's an insane misdrop for Mally. DOREMY does have the punish ready. Mally is going to find the next well. Actually not even going to greed for damage. And due to not greeding for damage, they're not going to kill DOREMY. Once again, a single row away from dying. But they're not going to find the damage.
Oh, no, the mishold! No, the mishold there from DOREMY had the survival.
Oh, that's match
Just
point.
pressed the keys wrong.
DOREMY has to double their scoreline and then more if they want to stay in this upper side. They could lose their cushion right here. Mally hitting some really nice sustain at the bottom of the board. The moment they get to tank, they're looking for more. But unfortunately, that misdrop is going to compromise any chance they had of a counter spike.
TKI versus MS2 here.
DOREMY didn't get the best RNG for their bag after the C-spin build, so Unfortunately, there's just not that many options here for them. They have to try and out-cancel the sustain coming in from Mally. But luckily for Doremy, Mally did have some misdrops of their own, so they're gonna make it to the clear. Maybe even an advantage state. Never mind, the well spawned in the exact same spot for Mally.
And that is it. Players exchanging GGs. Definitely well played right there. Little bit messy. Little bit of misdropping. And that's what decided more of those rounds than I would have expected.
Yeah, a lot of the times going into the match, it looks like the player with the winning decisions it's one player. It's not necessarily that both players have equal opportunity. And it was Mally who had that decision, and they did end up capitalizing very well on it over the course of that set.